we are leaving Gembu, heading to MAYO-NDAGA, where the highest mountain elevation is found on the Mambilla Plateau, and it is also where the roughest roads are found. And we are going there to tell the story of the people about how difficult it is for them living there, and also how very difficult it is for them to pass through those difficult and rough terrains into this side of town or even outside of the Mambilla Plateau. We set out early in the morning from Gembu town to embark on a dangerous journey through some of the deadliest roads leading to a town that has suffered many losses because of the infamous bad roads of the Mambilla. In contrast to the terrible experience on this road, the scenery on the Mambilla Plateau is incredibly astonishing. We couldn't help but stop by to take memorable pictures of the wonders of nature. This is a clear example of a death trap in paradise. I actually thought I could withstand the cold weather here. It turns out I underestimated the Mambilla Plateau. But then we are still on the road leading to MAYO-NDAGA. We've gone through high hills and low valleys, and I can tell you that this is one of the most beautiful places on planet Earth. The journey continues through narrow paths across high mountain tops. We were warned that the journey would be risky, but didn't realize it would be this bad. Locals say that when a bike falls off this cliff, no attempts are made to recover it. That is how deadly the road could be. This is the border between Tem and MAYO-NDAGA, where two rivers meet to make up River Nyongor, and we're about to cross this river to the other side of the Mambilla Plateau, continuing our journey to MAYO-NDAGA. A local canoeman and his boys welcomed us as we were about to cross to the other side, in continuation of a 6-hour journey. This feels quite dizzy. It feels like the land is gliding. I guess it's just the effect of the canoe moving and the water moving in the opposite direction. But then, still, it's a beautiful experience. The rainy season comes with its own difficulty for these people. As one who has always had a phobia for water bodies, I had my heart in my mouth as we sailed across the river.
With the supper, this work na hard work. So if we do something, sometimes the river will come full like this. We need government with airborne with the engine boat. Even a breeze, all I will lie. If we not get breeze, engine boat will go. They'll help us with them.
The team got hungry, and our only resort was to stop by for guava. This is one fruit you find in abundance on the Mambilla Plateau. Very ripe and fat guava fruits. And let me just pluck a few for the team. Finally, we arrived MAYO-NDAGA, and interestingly, the first major building we saw was a school, the Government Day Secondary School that was founded here in 1980. Hello, how are you doing? We received a warm welcome from members of staff. Ironically, the enthusiasm that these teachers work with does not match the poor state of the school.
Most of the parents here are not well-to-do parents, definitely. A student will come first term, second term, third term, he will go away, down to Cameroon. You see those places you see over there, they're in Cameroon now. Especially this way, they're in Cameroon. When you go to the town, they will tell you, they'll go away. Sometimes we were recording 180 during WAEC, 100 and 200 and something during WAEC. But now, hardly we register 90, 80 because of the poverty of the area. And the lukewarm attitude of, even lukewarm attitude of the government towards education.
Dilapidated classrooms with ceilings falling off and leaking roofs.
Sometimes you fully prepare in the house that you want to come and give the students at least maybe 3 to 4 lessons in a day or even 5. But due to the condition of the classrooms, you just have to give them chance because there is no way. If you want to teach them when the rain is falling, you see that sometimes the water will even spoil their books. So when it is raining, we will just be busy in the class looking for one angle that is not leaking, and you pack all the students there, and then there's no more way to teach again. You see that your objectives for that day will not be achieved.
An ICT center that has been dormant for years. The harsh learning conditions that these students here have been subjected to has caused many of them to drop out.
The ICT hall is my biggest something. If they can establish it and send for us a technician who will man it, now I would like it.
After hearing stories about how pregnant women often die on their way to Gembu for delivery, we decided to stop by at the only health facility in the community.
Where we are now, we are in the headquarters of MAYO-NDAGA ward. All other villages are managed and is controlled by this health facility as their referral center. All the health facilities we have in these wards, if there are issues they can't handle, they refer to my facility. If I can handle, I manage them. If I cannot handle, I refer them to general hospitals for proper management.
But why the high mortality rate, especially for pregnant women in MAYO-NDAGA?
Honestly speaking, I am not always happy to lose a client, especially our pregnant mothers, when they come to deliver. At times, when we find out that there are difficulties in the delivery processes, sometimes maybe the presenting part is not good, which we know that the woman needs to undergo CS, we have to refer them. And once we refer them, sometimes before they get to the hospitals, they die on the way. The reason is one, the road is very bad. That's one. Two, during the rainy season, like this time around, you will find out that we have a river between Mbaso and Ngubin. Once you refer a patient and that particular river is full, vehicle cannot cross over. They have to wait for 4-5 hours for the water to come down before the vehicle will now manage to cross. And more so, at times women die on the way because there are always delays in getting a van that will convey them from here to Gembu. And most of our women here are less privileged. They came from less privileged family. Some don't even have food to eat, talk less of them having money to charter a vehicle from here that will carry them to Gembu safely. By so doing, before they get to Gembu, before they raise money to pay for their transport fare to Gembu, with all these delays, we end up losing them.
To confirm the words of Silas from the health facility, we meet a widower whose pregnant wife had just died on the road leading to Gembu 10 days ago. Through teary eyes, he narrates his sad story to us.
Inda ta yi ciki dai wata biyu ne wata uku ta fara zuwa wannan hospital namu. To bata daina zuwa ba har ta yi kaman wata 9 zuwa 10 haka. A wannan na 10 ne ya shigo. To kawai kusan wata rana da dare kawai misali karfe 11 na dawo daga aiki sai na same ta. Bayan na same ta muka yi zance da ita, tana ce mini ya na daɗe haka. Na ce to ai ina aiki ne. Sai na ce mata to da Allah ki sa mini abinci saboda ban ci abinci ba. Sai ta kunna risho. Bayan ta kunna risho sai ta sa mini madara ne mana saya. Sai ta sa mini madara a ruwa a kan risho. Bayan ta sa mini madara sai ta dafa min madara, sai na samu na ci abinci. Da na gama cin abinci kawai shine na zan kwanta. Sai ta zanna haka, sai na ga wani ruwa ya fito mata. Na ce mata ya aka yi haka, wannan ba haifuwa ba kenan. Sai na tambaye ta kin gaya wa makwabcinki ne? Sai ta ce a'a bata faɗa mata ba. Na ce to ya kamata ki faɗa mata. Sai na yi wa dokta shi kuma waya kan cewa ga matata fa da daddare ne yanzu, kuma ina gani kamar ya kamata ta zo. Wannan ba wani solution in tafi babban hospital kawai. Sai na yi tunani wanda zan tafi da ita ko Jalingo ko in tafi da ita Yola. To a lokacin da sai na samu mota da sassafe, na zo na kawo su nan. To ba ta iya takawa ba, idan na kira jama'a suka ɗauke ta. da suka ɗauke ta sai a cika kwantar da ita shikenan muna tafiya yadda take abun yake mata sai ta bushe to lokacin ni abun da nake ji a zuciyana mun je tun da ba ta cikin hankalinka ya kamata a cire mata ɗan abun da yake cikin tunani na kenan to shine muka ce to sai asibiti shine muka tashi muna tafiya cikin ruwa ana ruwa muka tashi muna tafiya tana kwance bata san inda take ba muna tafiya sai da muka je wani kogi can a wannan kogi muka je muka samu wata mota ma ta faɗi a gefe an cika hanya kuma ƙaramin hanya ne ba kuma hanyar da za ku yi gefe wannan sun da muka roƙe su sosai muka ce muna da uzuri su je su gani muna da uzuri muna da mara lafiya kuma muna emergency za mu wuce Gembu ko za a je a yi mata aiki shine suka ce to garafa da suka gani suka ce wai dole ne sai aka cire mota a gefe aka sai muka shiga wallahi muna shiga cikin ruwan nan muna haura kawai sai muka ga ta faɗi kanta ya faɗi gefe kawai sai daga can ta rasu kenan.
Just next door, his neighbor had lost his pregnant wife barely a year ago, unfortunately still on the same deadly road. He took us to the local cemetery where she was buried and says this is a hard reality for him to accept.
Wannan ma wani alkali ne shi ma kawai ya je haka daji ne shi kenan kawai ya faɗi a wurin kamar a kawo shi kamar a kai shi an zo a ɗauki motar kenan ina ya rasu daga nan shi kenan sai ga shi abin da ya faru kawai sai kaddara ne da Allah kuma ga shi nan ba hanya ba nan kai kaɗai ba daga ƙauyukan nan duka in sun zo asibiti nan kafin a je Gembu wallahi a kogin nan mutanen da suka rasu a kogin nan wallahi ya kai mutane ni kam a sani na ya fi mutane 10 kafin a je wannan ce ma muna makoki na 3 aka ɗauki dottijon nan a hanyar ɗin ya rasu aka dawo da shi shine wannan wancan kuma wata mata ce ita ma an ɗauke ta za a kai ta asibiti shikenan ta rasu.
He's just showing us where his late wife was buried, and it's very sad. It's very sad. The roads are quite bad, and a lot of people have lost their lives, especially pregnant women plying the road to Gembu or even to Jalingo for delivery. One could see the pain in his eyes and hear the sad crack in his voice. The traditional ruler of this community has made a call on the government and relevant stakeholders to come to their aid.
Yanzu idan mutum ya taso daga Gembu kafin ya zo nan za ka zo a anyan ma wani rana ruwa zai tare ka ba mu da gada sai an ba mu da jirgin ruwa sai da daga mutum a sama idan ruwa ya zo to tafiya ya nuna babu numba na daya numba na biyu kuma a nan ba mu da isasshen ba mu da asibiti ma totally. Don mutanenmu matanmu suna rasuwa saboda haifin yara, saboda ba mu da asibiti. Makarantar kuma ga makaranta yana nan, a cikin makaranta kuma sai ka ga dakunan dukkan suna yoyo. Yanzu a secondary school ma daga nan ma ga secondary school amma teachers a cikin makarantar gaba da ba su kai guda 5 ba. Idan muka je kan ya kama the same thing, mun je Jawai the same thing, mun je Kila the worst. To gaskiya abin fa gaskiya muna ma gwamnati kuka, ya ji kukanmu. Muna son dai abubuwan da mu lissafa nan gaba daya muna son gwamnati ya duba mamu, ya tamaka mu.
He says he is pained that as a father figure, he has lost countless of his subjects to the callous hands of the bad roads in Mambila. After a very long day of moving around MAYO-NDAGA, one thing is certain: this community here has a lot of untapped natural resources. But then the people need help. And what are they calling for? Good roads, electricity, teachers in their schools, and doctors in their health facilities. When all of these things are achieved, the smile that was once there will return to their faces. We head back to Gembu town, leaving behind these people and the suffering that they must go through every day to get to town. Plying this road for hours was not a pleasant experience for us. I still wonder how they cope with the thought of a death trap in paradise, especially for families that have lost their loved ones to these bad roads.